Guys, it's Nate. I work on the team. I help buy properties, and I want to make this short video for you for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to answer the most common questions that we get here in our office so that we can help you make an informed decision on whether we might be the right fit to buy your property, or at least make an offer to help you move in the right direction with it. The number one question that we always get is, what about the repairs? Oftentimes, especially if you've talked to a realtor or someone else about listing your house, oftentimes you'll be told that the answer is that you've got to do some repairs to your house. You got to clean it up. You got to make it ready, all that kind of stuff. With us, you don't have to. We literally buy properties as is. Now, the reason why most people tell you that you've got to do a bunch of repairs is because most of the buyers in the marketplace today are using financing. That's right. They're going to go to a bank or a lender, a mortgage broker, and they're going to try to get a loan. And then when the loan company, whoever that is, sends somebody out to your property, either an appraiser or an inspector, they're going to go through it and they're going to look for anything that they see is wrong. The majority of loans today are done by FHA. What's all that means is that it's a government-backed loan in some way, shape, or form. And Fannie Mae, you've probably heard of Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Those are the two largest companies that back these FHA loans in the country. It means that they're underwriting the loan, or they provide the underwriting guidelines, I should say, because at the end of the day, they're going to buy that loan from whoever the local banker is. I know that sounds complicated, but what that means for people like you and I is this. If you try to sell your house on the open market and you work with a buyer that's using financing, that buyer's lender will require someone to go on site and inspect it. And if they see something like peeling paint, missing appliances, or other damages like that, then they won't finance the deal. They'll issue what's called a lender required work order, and typically a seller has to pay for that. It's negotiable, so you can go back and forth on it, but typically a seller has to pay for it because the buyers oftentimes don't have a lot of spare money because they're using financing to begin with. So we're not those people. We typically buy with cash, or in some cases we'll do an existing mortgage takeover, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about, okay? So I just want you to know very, very clearly, though, that in order to sell to us, we don't require you to do any repairs. If you want to, you certainly can. We could probably pay you a little bit more for the property if it's in move-in condition, but if you got repairs, don't worry about it. We're used to that. We've got a lot of contractors that we work with. We can probably get the repairs done for a lesser cost anyways, so just don't stress about that. That's the last thing we want you to stress about. We want you to think about moving into your new place. Where do you want to go next? We can help with your existing place, everything about it, okay? Next, okay, let's talk about the second thing that we get a lot of questions on, is that the mortgage payoff. I know if you've got financing on your property, you want to make sure when you sell to somebody that that's paid off. It's gone. You don't have to think about that stress or that burden anymore. So we're going to ask you questions about your mortgage. Oftentimes, we're gonna make you an offer that makes sure that that thing is completely paid off. That's the number one goal for us, that's completely paid off. Other times, sellers will actually ask us if we can do a mortgage takeover. And that may or may not be a good position for you. We'll go through that option with you. Sometimes we can actually get people a little bit more money if we do a mortgage takeover, if we're able to take over your existing financing. So we'll go through that with you. We've got to know some terms and conditions of your mortgage and if it's eligible for it and things like that. So we'll go through that with you when we actually pick up the phone and do a conversation with you. But that might be a very viable option that gets you more money in your pocket. So even if you've had other offers from other investors, don't stress. Like, we might be able to pay you more because we're much more creative. We've taken over a lot of mortgages. So let's talk about that once we get on the line. Okay, the next one. We get a lot of questions on this. Are you an investor that's just going to give me a lowball offer? That's the last thing that we want to do. We've maintained a really good rating with all of the review sites online, and it's for a reason. It's because we try to carve out win-win solutions for both us and the seller who's selling to us. So if you're someone that's worried about a lowball offer, stop. You don't have to worry about that with us. We're going to give you a fair offer. We're going to show you how we came up with our numbers, and we're going to map it out for you. Usually we give people a couple of different options. Usually we can come up with a cash offer if you want a cash offer, and then we can come up with the second offer that I mentioned to you, this mortgage payoff. Like, if we can take over your mortgage, we might be able to pay you even more for your property. So the last thing that we want to do is give you a lowball offer. What we want to do is carve out a win-win scenario that you're happy with, that we're happy with, and we're able to make a deal happen. So that's the name of the game here. So looking forward to talking with you. All you got to do is reply to this message. If you're watching the video on YouTube or somewhere else, then make sure you come back to the email that we sent it to you or the text message. Just reach back out to our team. Text us, email us, or call us, and let's talk about it. We'll come on site. We'll take a look at your property, and I'm sure we'll come up with something that you think is fair and we think is fair, and we can come up with a win-win solution so we can make this deal happen. All right, look forward to working with you. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.